says that we're here live, so we kind of come out here and do a live for you here on YouTube, give you some education and give you some knowledge about how the tax lien, auctions, deed, and redeemable deed works. People who don't pay their taxes. Talk about state of New Hampshire this morning, state of New Hampshire, okay? So New Hampshire, they're having their tax sales now. They're mainly having it by local townships or municipalities in the state of New Hampshire. And the state of New Hampshire is a tax deed auction. And in a tax deed auction, you're going to be bidding to own the property in the state of New Hampshire. Tax deed auction. Simple again. Whoever pays the highest amount of money in the state of New Hampshire will win the property in New Hampshire. Okay, very simple there. All of them are held in person. So if you want to go down there, you're going to have to go to the local township, register over there, and bid in person in New Hampshire. So I was listening the other day. We're going to be heading to Texas at the end of the month, so I want to do some more research of how Texas works more. Then also the little specifics, the little detailed information that you really want to know about a auction that they're having. So you know Texas is a big state too. It's like 215 counties. But the big key is that not all the counties have their auctions every month. That was interesting. I wasn't paying attention there. So it doesn't matter if they have 215 counties, because counties don't have all their auctions, you know, in one month, in all the month. So you start learning more of these detailed information. You learn more detailed specifics. In other words, you're saying, okay, where do I really want to focus more? Where do I want to learn more? Where do I want to get really good at on certain states or multiple states? Because some states, like, you know, I like Arizona a lot, but that's not till February. Really not till February. You know, they have the tax deed auction comes up, but I'm really not excited about those properties. I mean, I'll go and maybe do a video, but I'm not excited about bidding there at all for the tax deed auction. But when I do the different states, you say to yourself, okay, well, Texas, we know, they have it every single month. Now, you know, the bigger counties are going to have it every month, you know, the bigger counties. The Harris County, they're going to have that probably every month. And other counties, the big ones. The smaller counties will not. So those are the areas that you kind of look at more and more. That's the other avenue. Say, okay, is it worth it to look in that state? Where's their ability, wealth, and so on to buy in that state, particularly in Texas? So New Hampshire, remember, is completely different. New Hampshire, it's the local cities or municipalities. They'll have auctions once in a while. And they'll have a couple of properties go to sale, but it's a deed auction. So you're going to win the property in the state of New Hampshire. So you tell yourself, okay, do I really want to really get in, really know New Hampshire? Do I want to bid in New Hampshire a lot? Do I want to master New Hampshire? And for me, I said, not really. I said, I'll know the fundamentals. If I show up for an auction, I'll show up for an auction there in New Hampshire. But am I going to be excited? I want to fly around the country to go to New Hampshire tax sales? Not really, myself, not really. Now, we are kind of doing our research in Illinois right now, because they have theirs around November, December, which is kind of perfect for me, because Arizona comes up in February. I said, oh, okay. But their lists that they provide, you have to pay money. You got to pay money for the list. You got to pay money for the list. You got to register ahead of time. You got to send in a deposit. And you got to make sure you show up for the auction and bid, because if you don't, you lose your deposit. But it's not like they have 100 people registered for the auction either. I mean, except maybe for like Cook County or whatever. But the other counties, not really. There's only about 15, 20 people, mainly the same companies that register for it, okay? Yeah, cars, I don't know. I mean, I really don't get into the cars, how much cars cost here in the United States, okay? So it all really varies by what type of car you're gonna buy. So I'm the wrong guy to ask on that. Sorry about that, I apologize, but I'm the wrong guy. I don't get into that. I just have my regular car, run it into the ground, I don't like to say it, and then change the car. That's really what I do. So the key here is what? I just do the tax sales. You want to know about tax lien deed and redeemable deed? That's what I do, okay? That's my knowledge, that's my expertise. That's the key. And that's why I try to tell people. So we hope we've given you some education. We hope we give you some knowledge how New Hampshire works, okay? And then you have to say to yourself, do you want to bid in New Hampshire? Do you want to get really good in New Hampshire and start to know the rules and guidelines in the state of New Hampshire? That's the important part we have to know, okay? So what we do is we try to give you knowledge. We give you education, and you have to figure out what state you want to go to and get really good at. And for myself, I like what? I like Arizona. I like Indiana on certain counties. I like Mississippi, I'm looking. We're gonna look at Illinois and some other states. We're doing here in California. So you have to decide where you want to get really good, okay? So thank you very much for watching. We're gonna bounce over to Instagram, and then Facebook. So we kind of do about 10 minutes or so on the live for you. Give you some education. Thank you very much.